What's going on, beautiful people of the world? People of the world, join in. Start a love train, love train. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit today about my life, like what happened to me, since I was a child, you know. Oh God, people say a lot of stuff about me, but they don't understand actually what I've been through. Like, I've literally had to fight for my life all my life. It's like I was running away from danger all my life, okay? It's like anybody that I ever came encounter with was trying to do something. Girl, was trying to do something to girl, be quiet. Injure me. Use those words. I was 4. I was probably a little younger than that when I discovered that something in my bottle didn't taste right. You understand? That's like the type of person I am. Like, I know what happened as a baby, as a child. But after that, I just, once I turned 4, we used to have like really weird things going on in our daycare. Like men peeking in the little girl's bathroom, all that different kind of stuff. We had to go through that. And then also when I was around 4 in daycare, I was ran over in the foot homes by some guy. I don't know if he was one of my aunts or cousins, boyfriends or friends or what. I don't know. This man, he ran me over when I was a child. And that man did, a lot of damage to me, even though I didn't end up breaking anything but my arm. But he hit me. He came down the driveway. And all of a sudden he said, so me not knowing then, that, I don't know. I didn't know then. But to know now that's where it started in my life for, people trying to hurt me and harm me. First of all, I was used as like a science project. I was put in a government program. And I guess as a child, like I was already sacrificed as a baby. So imagine having to run, y'all. Like run from everybody you look at, you encounter. Or you got people in your life. I was a child and I couldn't stand really men like looking at me. But they had eyes, so I couldn't help it. But a lot of men used to like stare little girls down. And they probably still do the same thing today, but I didn't know that I was targeted, as a little girl. But I just know a lot of different things happened to me. And then once I grew up a little bit at 12 and 13, I ended up getting in touch with a friend because my great-grandma, she used to take me to church all the time. So, like, I was getting to know God at an early age, getting to know what rules you have to follow with him, all kind of stuff. So that's what was in my life. But also, he had the other side of things in my life that was going on with me. So by the time I got 12 or 13, I ran into a boy, 11, 12, 13, because my mom, she used to allow the guys to come over and kick it with us, like after church and different stuff like that. And we would have fun. We would play and everything. So one day, one of those guys, he had flipped me out of the back of a pickup truck. And I was really hurt, I was hurt. And anything that ever happened to me, my mom really didn't show remorse. Also, a guy pushed me down in school. I never forget Kentrell. He pushed me down in school on a tree on my way home because he used to pick with me all the time. And he pushed me down on a tree and I broke my collarbone. Like, I cracked my collarbone. So from there, things got to happening, And all of a sudden, I looked around at 15 or 16 and I was homeless. Like, I was just trying to find places to go just to get along, like, like, and I would see everybody, like, treating me real bad. And then they would treat me. I was a real quiet baby. I was a quiet girl. So I always observed. I always observed what you got going on, you know? Even though it's looking like me that's slow all the time, it was the person in front of me every time. Like, they didn't understand. I couldn't tell them they were slow. You know, I just didn't care. I didn't say anything about me. You know, I just went on with my life. So a lot of people thought that I was slow, you know? And so, and during them little years, I was getting sent to the crazy house. I was getting sent, like, I was just getting put out, kicked out, you know, as a young child. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was perfect, because I was locked in the house, like, all the time. So I always snuck out. I always went out. Sometimes I didn't come back home, you know, because it was a lot going on in my home. I couldn't really get along with my mom, and I respected her to the fullest. Like, no cussing out, no fighting her, no none of that stuff. It's just, you know, we didn't get along. We always had some kind of words. And so when I became homeless, I was just out there. When I was out there, boy, these people I could see everybody's face, like, just look at you like this. Everybody had the same look on their face. So, you know, I moved around. I stayed away from people. Like, I always have. This the same thing going on now. But it's like now this was the big break. This was like when I, you know, endured all those things in my life, and I came to a point where this was happening for real. And everything else, I feel like I didn't know nobody that I ever used to know. I feel like people showed me a side of them that was just demonic. And I was like, Lord have mercy, are you serious? Like, being set up all your life is not a fun thing. And it's crazy because you go through life, you trying to get a job, you working, you going to school, you doing all this different stuff. And you got people in places, high places, messing with this, messing with that. You know, right now today I'm supposed to have my GED. I passed the test and everything. These people did something with my test. So it's been keeping me down. Then so 17, the boy I was with, he was very, like, abusive. Like, I used to always have bruises. And I don't know if this, like, mother, like, told him to do these things to me or whatever, not show me no feelings. Like, I feel like that's what she had did to all of the guys that I've encountered, the children's father, everything. She just told them to do me like this, do me really dirty. But at 18, I never forget, I had just had my baby. And, you know, I got pregnant with him at 17 because the man came and got me pregnant, you know, and I was already homeless. I didn't have nowhere to go, nothing. He got me pregnant, and it stuck me with a baby. So I moved in with my mama for a minute and found me a you know, apartment, based on income apartment. I got me and my baby, and we went, you know. And it's like all my life, it's like when I got my children, it's like the children just started going through things because I was teaching them, you know, the right things, and, you know, telling them what they supposed to get done to be able to make it in life, to be able to get through. Not knowing that all the time that this person in the background getting things together, making things happen to my children, causing harm to my children. They told them so many lies about me and everything, and I just can't get over the fact that this is about money. Like, my grandmother, I feel like her and my granddad, they were some very important people, and I feel like they had something for me, and it's like they had already got it and took it. Because she handed me some papers and said, look, sign this. I'm 18, so I don't know. You know, I'm thinking this mom, I could trust her. You know, I didn't know. And I signed them papers, and I feel like as I was signing them papers, I feel like my whole life was getting taken from me. Like, anything that I represented, I feel like my destiny got taken from me. And that's exactly what happened. This woman had swapped destinies with me, had took everything that belonged to me, and then put me out there, you know, put me out there to be harmed by whoever. And so I had those children, and went through a whole lot with their fathers, you know, not wanting to be there, take care of them, treating us bad, doing us bad, cussing us out, and this and that. And so I ended up getting a second child, and was with his father. He was very mean, of course. But I ended up just chilling with them one day. A friend of mine, and one guy was over there with her, and, you know, I was in there with my child father. And so all of a sudden, this man shot me. You know, it could have been the head, but it actually was the finger, and God was like, because, not yet, you know? But yeah, that happened with the, second baby daddy. And then the third one came along. I didn't have too much contact with him because he was kind of like just a mistake anyway. My child wasn't a mistake because I love my children, but I did, blame myself and the father. I did, you know. But yeah, my children, they had a very hard time. And how us young women sometimes feel like we gotta have a man. It's so not true, because you gotta be careful who you even bring in over your home. I ended up opening the door to the devil. That's the only way I can say it. Anybody that come in just to cause you harm, just to set you up and have stuff done to your children, I feel like that's just the devil. So I open the door to the devil all the time. And the last time I opened the door to the devil, it taught me a very, very big lesson, because this man was sent in. And I think like the rest of them would, paid to be crazy too. But this man was sent in, and this man did a lot. Like, I'm not gonna even lie, these people did a lot to me. And like, he out here, y'all want to know what happened? He out here telling people that I cheated on him or whatever. Woo. Guess what? When he came in, he already put me in a false marriage. Messing with everybody in the city or the world, people online, all that stuff. And so once he, had already came with all that, God was like, okay, come on, let's keep going with this. So yeah, they destroyed my niece and nephew's lives. I watched these people actually destroy our children. And this the same thing they had done to me. Like I'm watching them do the same thing to my nephews and nieces and other people's children. So this what really had us. I got a whole lot more to tell, but what really had me like, I gotta go is my baby boy. My baby boy ended up being murdered, and all while this man was around me was actually so strange. I mean, strange. So one day I told him, like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I told him, look, you got to go. Because I just felt, it's like every time like he come around me, my stomach would ball up. I would get sick. We were going through so much. I was always sick and down and laying down all the time and all that different stuff. I was just sick, tired, didn't want to do nothing. And this man was out here living his life with all kind of women, like sleeping with everybody and they mama, literally. So, I just, I left everything alone and went on about my business. I feel like that now I can have some peace. I can have some rest. I'm by myself. I finally love myself because nobody else wanted to do it ever. So I've learned to love myself, because I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself at all when I was young. And I used to hate people, like, because how they treated me. But I realized that hate hurts you more than anything. You don't go around just hating people. But even though they are treating you bad, that's your soul. You can't hate people, But so yeah, after realizing that, my son had went to jail. I mean, they was out here actually setting these children up all over the place. There's so many children didn't survive from this mess. Cause I always look at men like y'all. If you a man, you a man. But if you not, get the fuck up. Like, sorry, out my face, because like y'all, like, you don't care about children. And see, the thing with this man, the reason why I'm okay today, because I saw this man, whatever he lacked in life, whatever happened to him, he came in and tried to, put it on my children, on my boys. He was very, very jealous of how I loved my boys and took care of my boys. And I was into every last one of them, all three of them, wanted to know what's on their mind, what's going on. Now, it's a lot of things them children didn't even tell me. It's things that happen to them children that they don't even know where it's from, but I do. It's a lot of things happen to my children. One of them locked up now. They're trying to take his whole life from him because of the environment we've been staying in, with people trying to harm us day and night, all of our life. This is very sick. So when people say that she acting this and she acting that, man, look, I don't know y'all. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't know people no more. Like, I told y'all it was like a boom, like a dynamite once my child got murdered, and it woke me up, and it started making me look around and everything like, damn, this started when I was a child. People been trying to actually harm me since I was a child. So I'm gonna speak up now, because these children are suffering. They're going through, they're depressed and all kind of stuff, and they don't even have to be like that. We have some terrible leaders. Whoever led these children to even thinking, feeling like that they had to have money, be rich, you wrong for that. Because guess what? You have to work work hard for the things you want. And I always told my boys that you do good things always follow you. When you do bad things, that's going to follow you. You understand? So that's the clearest that I could tell my boys, to be able to get them, to do the right thing, be able to have a good life. Child, these people had destroyed these children before they could even think about what they wanted to do or be in life. They quickly came to them, the devil. Oh, you can have this much money if you, that's not what you tell a child. You have to pay dearly for how you teach a child. You teach a child wrong, you have to pay dearly. I'm telling you, people, really think that they get away with a lot of stuff in life, but we don't, child. We don't. I haven't even got away with things I've done in life. We don't. But it's been, it ain't been too bad on me, because the Lord know my heart. I never done anything with bad intentions, towards people. I always had a conscience. I always had a heart afterwards or something, I do. No one can change my heart. But yeah, that's just a little piece of my story. That's a piece of my story. Yes, when my son left this earth, and I went up to the crime scene, I never did see them bring a body out or nothing. Then the police walked out and said, somebody got it back in blood. So I felt like then I knew that this is whoever was coming for me, And that's just my story. That's a piece of my story, because I'm 47 now, so I got a lot to say. Like, I'm 47 now, and I'm still being tortured. I walked up to the army man today, because this is how bad this has gotten. I keep losing stability. They took all my money from me. I can't pay my bills. I'm in the Section 8 house, because Memphis Housing Authority took my money and gave it to these people that own this home. They won't come do nothing to it, which was as is $700 as is, and now it went up to $9 something. They never was supposed to take anything from me, because I'm already out here struggling anyway. They already done took everything from me, so that little money I get for my utilities, that's to pay my light bill, so me and my little girl can have lights. They have took everything from me. They have stole insurance policies, because when baby died or got killed, murdered brutally, they stole that. They stole the insurance policy. I don't know if he did or who. Listen, he pulled up in 2 cars, 2 brand new cars. So I don't know. They know what happened to my son, but they won't tell me. They won't tell me, but I know, like people did it. If you still coming for me today, you did something. I just survived a hate crime. I just survived genocide. I lost so many family members behind this stuff. Like, they took my family members from me. And it's like the ones that we love. Like, I really love these people. And it's like these people have no respect for the ancestors. I saw them as a child coming up, how they would talk back and treat the ancestors real bad. So if anybody ever think that they got respect for the ancestors now, you better come again, because, baby, they didn't like the ancestors when they was here, and they definitely don't like them now. And see, my ancestors, they used to keep me under their wing. They did a lot of stuff for me, and I think a lot of people was jealous about that, but they could have really got the same treatment. It's just their egos were so big. Everybody this and that. Everybody, everybody want to be something that they not. All you really got to be is yourself, and that makes you look so good. Just being yourself. People don't understand that. You can't come out here being nobody else, because they could been the switch to a whole different thing while you still out here trying to be them. I got on my spiritual journey a long time ago before my son got murdered. And so I was already, opening up to everything that was, really happening, to things that wasn't right. I felt it. Like, I felt things was not right. Now, these people, I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't know. I don't know what kind of heart. The things that's been done to me, I don't think people have a heart. You understand? And it's like, now, all I do is be to myself, because I don't trust nobody. I don't know nobody. I find out everybody in the world don't like me. Been spreading hate crimes. Been spreading all kind of gossip. Got me on the black web. Like, all this type of stuff. It's really sickening. It's really sickening. So when people ask where she at, why she ain't around, because they did all these things to me coming up as a child. I ain't had a break. I ain't had no rest, like, to be able to accomplish nothing. Everything I try to accomplish, bam, it's knocked out the way. It's knocked down. Like, it's like everything. And it's been all my life. So for 3 years, I've been sitting here like, man, y'all, I'm healed. But it's been taking me a long time to get over what I just went through. Like, it's been taking me a long time. So if you wonder where I am, man, I just don't know y'all no more. I didn't know people would go this far. I didn't know people was this heartless. So, that's it for now. That's just part one. I'll be back to, let y'all know some more things. All right.